Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, go check your other major placements. I will also be posting pictures of the spread at the end if I remember and everything goes well. And it is 4,000 degrees here. Luckily, that's in Fahrenheit and not Celsius. So I think I'm going to survive it, but just barely. I don't have AC, but I am attempting to wear as little as possible. I do have to turn my fans off to do these, though. So otherwise, most of my time is spent in front of the fans. All right, starting with an intuitive vibe from this Oracle of Mystical Moments deck. And I just want to say that each of these cards has quite a bit of wisdom embedded in them. That can be true at any point in time. But the deck is bringing these to your attention this week for a reason. So I love the wisdom in every one of these cards. And also, you know, it kind of, the readings can come through a little differently, but depending on the other cards and other situations. But I just wanted to clarify that these are for, you know, what you need to be paying attention to this week. Because sometimes, you know, they're just really cool cards and they have a lot of wisdom in them. But we're just taking these into focus here. Okay, so wow, you are tall. You are tall in these cards. Look at how tall you are. You've got two giantesses and then this like memory on top of a tower, this memory tower thing here. So quite a bit. You're ginormous this week. You've grown. You ate, I think it was the cake that Alice eats. And she's so tall and gets stuck in the house and then she drinks something, or I could have those totally confused. It's probably been a decade since I ever watched any Alice in Wonderland. But anyway, the cake said, eat me, and you ate it, and now you're as tall as a house, or taller than a cathedral, taller than any other building in this city or the country. All right, keys on trees. Here you are, you got stuck somewhere. It was not of your own doing. You were either tricked there or just something happened that was completely out of your control. I mean, you probably learned a little bit and you're probably like, well, probably won't do that again, but it's not your fault that you're up there. I mean, no elephant climbs up. This is the elephant's comfort zone down here. You don't climb up. No elephant climbs up this intentionally. Something, maybe an organization, an institution, something imprisoned you up here, or somebody else. Put you in an awkward situation where you don't quite know what to do and you are way out of your comfort zone. You can get out, but you're going to have to put in the work. This is a very annoying thing. It reminds me of when the insurance company calls and says something like, we've changed our policy and now you have 5 weeks of 200 hours of work a week that you need to do in order to fix so that you are now in compliance with our new policy that we changed. And, you know, and you're like, thank you. I now have 4,000 hours of work to do for no fault of my own. So this is sort of, it's not quite probably, I don't know if tarot really deals with such like mundane, bureaucratic bullshit like that. But it's a little bit like that. So yeah, but you've got the ability, you can. It's just, and it might be easy. Who knows? It could be the first phone call, the first number on those lovely, glorious phone trees. And you could unlock you, and you could get down back to your comfort zone, back to where you belong. The other benefit of this is that you're an elephant here. You have a memory, an incredible memory, and you will never forget the view that you have gotten from up here. The things you've seen while you were up there will be a guide for you in the future. You may even be able to avoid ever getting in this situation again. There's some sort of reflection here. Reflecting, this tower is so shiny, it reflects the forest. Huh, fascinating. Okay, then we're moving on to abracadabra. This is another, you are the tower. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's what this is. The self-reflection jumping out at me here today. Is that something about your own self-reflection? Is this tower might be creating some moments of self-reflection for you, bringing you into moments of growth and self-reflection as you're stuck here. And like I said, you're getting this great view. Maybe part of that view is the self, is seeing yourself, seeing some sort of reflection of yourself and as part of the situation in this difficulty. So here's abracadabra. So we all have, oh my gosh, we have the two cards, the two spiral cards. So let's talk about spirals for a second here. They are, you know, we each have our little energy, we each have our little orbits that we're doing in our lives, and we come back to kind of the same parts in our cycle, and we've got our themes. And I think at the end of your 20s, early 30s, you kind of are aware of what themes are you dealing with in this lifetime. What's going to be an issue that you have to come back to again and again and again. You know, what are your issues that you'll be dealing with? And maybe sometime, and this abracadabra card reflects a moment when you can possibly hop out of that cycle and create some sort of lasting change. But so these spirals talk about repeating circles, and we come back to the same like angle in the circle, the same, you know, place in the circle, but we've grown a little bit, and we're a little bit further out, and we've got a little bit different perspective on the issue, and this just keeps going, and we grow and grow and grow. So the spiral is a sign of personal growth and of coming back to those same places, but seeing more, understanding more, and having grown. I mean, if you're paying attention, that's what happens. You grow, and even though you're still, you know, some of these problems aren't fixable because they're just embedded in our personalities. It's just part of who we are. And so, you know, I'm always going to have to deal with boundary issues, and it's a struggle for me. But every time I have these boundary issues come up, I know more, I do better, I do different. And who knows, maybe someday I'll be able to like completely jump out of that lesson and into a whole new different focus, you know? So that would be cool, right? So this abracadabra card references a moment where maybe you do get to jump out of that. Maybe you have learned enough. Maybe you do get to jump out of that cycle and that learning cycle and move on to the next lesson plan. You've done this enough. So it could be that, because abracadabra, those are magic words. That's the magic. You've grown so much that you may be able to achieve a wish fulfillment from this growth. You can't see it, though. That's the thing. And she's got also a really strong bride vibe here. But look at you. You are in this really lofty place. You are tall. Anyway, yeah, she can't see it, but she's very committed to this growth, and it's almost like this commitment combined with her personal growth, it gives her some sort of magic ability to be able to touch something she can't see and to create some magic, some magical change, some giant leap forward through her words and through something she's going to be able to speak into existence. You're at a place where and maybe, you know, oh my gosh, there's just so much. We've got locks on both of these cards, and we've got keys. So you've got the key to unlocking something and opening something up, and maybe something to bring something into existence. You've grown so much. You've learned so much that now here you are. You do have the key. You have the ability to do something right now. And we've got 3 cards talking about you can do this. You are ready for some sort of leap forward, some sort of, you know, leap out of your cycles, out of your habits, I mean, this could be like habits and things like inherited from your childhood, from your parents, you know, own issues and look, we've got a spiral right here. Oh my gosh. There's so many connections going on in my brain right now. We've got this like spiral staircase also referencing personal growth, and you're going to come down the spiral once you open this thing, open this understanding, open your mind, open up about something. You're going to come down this spiral and look at that growth as you get closer to the bottom here. And spirals, I'm never quite sure, like, are we going more to the center, to the truth of something, or are we going out and growing and getting bigger like tree rings, so like if they were spirals and not just concentric rings. So, and then here you are, you know, look at all of this, how big this is at the bottom, this spiral growth. So we have 3 cards with spirals. We have 2 cards unlocking something, opening something up. Maybe you're opening up this personal growth and yeah, you've learned enough. You've learned your lesson. You've learned what you needed to learn here, and now you're ready to jump forward and leap forward. Or this is the moment where that becomes possible. Whether you do that or not, and whether you have the opportunity specifically right now, that is a question, because we have a lot of keys here. We have a lot of things we need to try, a lot of things to open this up, open this opportunity, open up your freedom, and open up your ability to leap to the next stage of your life. But you've learned so much. I mean, I just keep saying that because I keep seeing it. This is an incredibly cool intuitive spread here. So then we have this, can you hear me? Communication issues, some sort of exhaustion, not feeling understood, not feeling seen, not feeling able to communicate. So perhaps that's what you unlock, is the keys to communication, the keys to making this communication work. Because communication is a two-way street. It's the tango. It takes two people to work together to create a beautiful, complicated, passionate dance like the tango. It only takes one person to never have taken the lessons, not have paid attention at the lessons, stepping on the other's foot, kicking the other person, walking off the dance floor. One person can do that, and there's no tango. One person can refuse any part of this communication equation, and there's not going to be any communication. It's amazing anybody communicates clearly at all, because it takes two people being on the same page. It's like, I want to talk, I want to talk, I want to listen, I want to listen, and we're going to do this together. So, but you have some sort of communication frustration. But look, again, she's grown so much emotionally. She might be having difficulty trying to convey to people that she's changed, she's grown. Please listen to me. I know something now. This is, again, we have the spiral here and the communication spiral. So you've grown and you've changed in your ability to communicate something very deep and very emotional. But there's some exhaustion and almost some sense that it's never going to happen and you're never going to be able to do it. But in fact, you could just be taking a pause, because we have you opening up. And then we have the secrets card here. This is not necessarily secrets TM, but this is something that you're not sharing, not opening up, but you have the ability to open up something, and you're contemplating it, you're thinking about it. Look, again, she is, maybe you're just really high this week, like you are really high up here. So she's up here on this pedestal. Part of her hesitancy might be that if she opens this up, she somehow gets knocked off her pedestal. People might see her for who she really is. And she's worried about that. But she's sitting here contemplating and thinking about it. Yeah, just really thinking about it, holding on to it. But it is your secret. It's yours to open up when you're ready. So that's what I'm saying here is you've grown. You might have an opportunity. You might not take it, but you have to, for your growth. Your own personal growth requires you opening up about something, you unlocking something in yourself, unlocking something, sharing something, maybe unlocking a situation. But it happens, and there's just so much personal growth here. You're a giantess or giant, depending on your gender, or whatever. I don't know. I wish we just had gender neutral terms for everything. Then we can just stop with it all, with the gender problems. Somehow it seems like that would solve a lot of them. But so there's just so much growth here. And the abracadabra talks about language. So there might be something about opening up, about talking about something. Oh yeah, look at this. These two deal with language. Abracadabra, those are magic words that bring a wish into fruition. This is, can you hear me? A communication issue, emotional communication issues. And then we have these locks opening up. So your personal growth is all about opening up and talking about something. The ball's in your court, though, for sure. So anyway, that's the longest I think I've ever talked on the intuitive thing, but it was very exciting for me to see all the very exciting connections and how those cards all work together. And I'm sure somehow in my excitement I missed some sort of key thing. There's some sort of key thing here. Opening up. Communicating and opening up. Just, you've grown enough that you've grown so much. It's going to change everything when you finally open up. This is your past. This is your present. This is your inner landscape. This is what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Alrighty, another really exciting spread, Scorpio. You know what? I don't know that many Scorpios in my life right now, like sun signs. I don't know everybody's like other major placements. But as far as sun signs, I don't have that many in my life right now. But your readings, they come in so clear. I love them so much. They're very clear to me. They're very exciting, very consistently. It makes me want to go out and find myself some Scorpios to go hang out with. Okay. So in your recent past, you've got this Three of Wands, sudden heartbreak. Maybe some truth came in, maybe some understanding. You suddenly understood something. You suddenly saw something. This is a fast-moving heartache. It's almost like a summer storm comes in and makes you cry. And there's just a lot of pain here, a lot of heart. You've been stabbed through the heart. It's been very difficult. No wonder you're all clammed up. You got to protect that little heart there. And this is just like this intense pain came through very quickly, very suddenly, really hurt you. Maybe some words were said that were very painful, or you saw the truth somehow. And it was this lightning thunder thing. Oh, that reminds me of the song. It was in my head, stuck in my head earlier. I'll post it in my I'll post a link to it in my playlist of songs that I reference here. Yeah, it was about a thunderstorm coming through a relationship, and it is done. It's been done. That's the name of the song. It's been done. And so it's been done. This heartbreak, this storm came through. This lightning bolts pierced your heart. Very quick moving heartbreak, suddenly a lot of pain. In your present situation, you have this Knight of Swords coming here. So this could be somebody else, or just an energy that you're experiencing, or it could be you. It's very focused, very honest, very true, quick moving. Again, we've got quick moving coming in here, which is funny because these other ones aren't quick moving. This quick moving truth coming through, or painful communication. So the present situation, there's a lot of focus, a lot of determination on the truth, on understanding the truth, on clarity, on reason and intellect and truth. And so this Knight of Swords is coming in very quick, very determined, very focused energy. And that's the present situation. You're hoping to become this Nine of Pentacles. Usually this comes in, I was just talking about gender. I only have 2 cards where I feel that they're very specifically female cards. This is one of them. But this being in your inner landscape, maybe this is your feminine side, no matter which gender you are. This could just be the feminine boss lady vibe here. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is my Widow Clicquot card of she absolutely revolutionized champagne. No one would be drinking it today if it weren't for her. Her biography is absolutely one of my favorite things I've ever read. I love it. So this is Nine of Pentacles, though, harvesting something you've worked really hard for. So this is your hope. Your hope is that you've done the work. You've made this growth. This is the harvesting of all of this growth, of all of her business growth and all of the growth of these vines. They've been here 20 years growing. First of all, we had to find the right cultivar for the soil and the climate. Then we had to, I think grapevines can take 5 to 10 years before they start producing. Now we've got this bumper crop of grapes off of possibly 20-year-old vines, maybe. I don't know everything about grape growing. And then harvesting them in as part of the process of making wine, which is also a long process. So, but this is the harvesting, the business lady harvesting. So maybe you're hoping to bring in some money really quickly, or not really quickly. It wasn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It was like I went to college for 10 years scheme and earned this money very much. So you've been working very hard, and you're very much looking forward to a harvest of this growth. You've been growing, and you're hoping to be able to have a very successful harvest. You know, something that people are going to be talking about for years to come, where they're like, oh yes, the 2020 harvest and wherever you're from of so-and-so's wisdom and growth, and it's been bottled, and that's a very good year for personal growth. And then we have, in what's at issue is this Nine of Cups, but it's reversed. So not having wish fulfillment. This is a wish fulfillment card in the upright, a very emotionally fulfilling events, very emotionally fulfilling, almost like you got the trophy. These are your emotional winnings, but you didn't get the trophy. You didn't win. You were hoping to win, but you didn't. So there hasn't been the emotional fulfillment that you were hoping for. These cups have been dumped out, and there's not the emotional winning. There's no trophies here. You maybe like gambled your emotional heart and lost it all here, and that's creating an issue. You lost some sort of emotional fortune. So in your environment, there's something jumping forward here. This is the Fool. So this is either somebody or some sort of vibe, or maybe at work, or maybe something like that. In your environment, what surrounds you is this Fool energy. This is leaping forward. Yes, we know that this is we're on cliffs. There's dangers, certainly. There's clouds in the sky, but you know what? The sun is feeling so good on me. It makes me want to leap forward and take a risk. So there's an opportunity to take a risk. And you can see that it's a risk. You can see that there's risk involved, but overall it might seem like it's the benefits outweigh the risk, and you're leaping. There's an opportunity here somewhere around you to start a new venture, leap into the unknown, and that is surrounding you, is that opportunity. In your to-do list is the Hanged Man. You're not leaping forward. Yeah, there's a lot of standing still here and still thinking about it. And this is what you need to do, still thinking about it. Human fruit, you are not ripe yet. You are the Hanged Man, but you need to be doing all of that work to free yourself. There's something internal. You got to be going through these keys to free yourself, to open yourself up here. You've got to, this is the search for the right key. You're not, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you've grown a lot, and you want to communicate and you want to open up, but you might not be ready to, because none of these have you actually doing it. They have you waiting on it or thinking about it, contemplating it, except for abracadabra. So you might end up getting there. So this is you working to free yourself. And it's usually internal work. It's this ripening process. And, you know, he's unknotting himself. So he's not being active. He's not running. He's not jumping. He's not, you know, thrashing about. He's calmly, coolly unknotting himself, freeing himself from a situation. And it doesn't show up very much on the external. It shows up, it's more of an internal work, this internal growth that we're talking about that eventually frees you. That's what this is. It's not like obvious and clear to the outside observer what's going on, but you're to be hanging out right now. Just hang out, and do the internal work. Do the internal work, finding the key, finding the way to open up, doing the internal growth, a lot of personal growth. It will change things. You will find the key. You will find the words. It will change things, but you need to be focusing on your internal growth. And it is for the purpose of freeing yourself, okay? And opening yourself up, freeing yourself, getting rid of those limitations that you feel and that you experience. And this is doing that growth while appearing to just stand still. So you aren't leaping, although around you is this leaping. You want the harvest. You've got to like do some sort of internal growth, some sort of personal growth for that big bumper crop of harvest you're looking forward to. And then in your possible outcome, we have the Death card. This is a major life transformation, which is what I'm seeing in this abracadabra card and the Keys on Trees card, is once you do, there's a freedom that comes in. There's an openness and a freedom that you experience that is going to be life-changing, a major transition, a major threshold crossing here with the Death card. Being able to cross the threshold. The Death card isn't death per se. It is just a big transition, such as going from existing to not existing, going from not existing to existing, which would be birth. Kind of a big transition coming up here for you, okay? And you want to be ready for it. This is you preparing for the big transition, preparing for it, growing as a person, and just preparing yourself internally for some sort of big life transition and big life change. Of course, we need to always remember that the Death card is about that threshold. So we leave one room, there could be something that you're leaving behind, some sort of situation that gets left behind. You could be leaving this situation behind. Something you move on from something. It's a pretty big transition, but there is new life there. It's for the purpose of life. Death is a part of life. It is an integral part of life. It has to happen. Those transitions has to happen. We can't have new life without death. So some sort of transition is going to happen. There might be some grief. There might be some sorrow about leaving something behind. But the whole point of it is that you're going to be saying goodbye to something, which means you will be saying hello to something else. But there might be a bit of a grief process coming up for you about something that has to be left behind. Maybe you got used to this cage and you're kind of sad to leave it behind. But all right, Scorpio. That was a real fun reading for me. I hope it was fun for you and that you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I really do appreciate them. I think you guys are just the greatest listeners or watchers or subscribers, I guess, ever. I just really love your comments. Someone was actually commenting to me how great, what cool comments you guys do here. And I just was like, yeah, lucky me. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful week.